Hey everyone, welcome in, join in. I got some hot, tea. Yeah, I love this little thingy. So join in everybody. Gonna come here. Okay. So while everyone's joining in, I just pray that October has came in with a bang. I pray that God has really been, showing you guys everything. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone that's joining in. Today is going to be titled Tea Time. Just because God has some tea and I need to spill it to you guys. So it's about to go down. I'm going to actually be in Psalms this morning. And Psalms 57, it isn't that long. I think it's only like 11 verses. Yeah, it's 11 verses to be exact. And we're going to be in Psalms 57 and just sit back because God has some amazing revelations. And at first I started off and I was like, God, where are you taking me? I was just doing definitions for things. But God was like, no. It's about to go down. Thank you. So everybody join in. I'm about to serve you up some good tea. Pinky's out. So we're going to be reading in Psalms 57. So what he's actually saying is for me to read definitions to you guys first and then to read Psalms 57. So let me read these words out and then we're going to get into the definitions. Thank you. I love you guys. You guys gave me the best birthday. I don't know whose idea was it to do $37 for my birthday, but that was the theme because I was 37. Well, I am 37. Not was. Devil, you lie. So, thank you. It was really cute. I was very surprised. So thank you guys for that. I also received another little coffee mug too. It was so cute. Thank you guys for the birthdays. It was so many comments. I could not respond back to all, but it's just a general thank you. Yeah. So, you guys, so he gave me some words and then definitions to go with them. And then he wants me to actually read Psalms 57. So one word he gave me was refuge. And then the definition is a condition of being safe. Should I start there first? Nope. Let me start here. The words that he wanted me to define is mercy, refuge, calamity, and passes, like a pass. And then perform all things. So, and reproach. So reproach is first. That's the first one he wanted me to do the definition for. It is to address someone in such a way to express disapproval or disappointment. And then calamity is an event causing great and often sudden damage or distress and disaster. Then mercy is compassion or forgiveness shown towards someone whom is within one's power to punish or harm. An event to be grateful for, especially because it's an occurrence of events, something unpleasant or provides relief from suffering. And then suffering is a state of undergoing pain, distress, and hardship. Refuge, a condition of being safe or shelter from pursuit or damage or trouble, something providing shelter. And pass is to move or cause to move in specific direction, leave behind, or go beyond limits of or surpass. So here we go. We're going to got my other book down there too. If you're just joining in, I'm going to read Psalm 57. I just read a little bit of definitions really quick for some words. I know they're very simple definitions, but God wants you to sit with that for a second because he's going to make it resonate in full, and it's full. I feel like I'm so far away. Here. There we go. So Psalm 57 reads, "Be merciful to me, O God, be merciful to me. For my soul trusts in you. And in the shadow of your wings, I will make my refuge until these calamities have passed by. I will cry out to God Most High, to God who performs all things for me. He shall send from heaven and save me. He reproaches the ones who would swallow me up. Salah. God shall send forth his mercy and his truth. My soul is among lions. I lie amongst the sons of men who are set on fire, whose teeth are spears and arrows, and their tongue a sharp sword. Be exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let your glory be above all of the earth. They have prepared a net for my steps. My soul is bowed down. They have dug a pit before me. Into the midst of it, they themselves have fallen. Salah. My heart is steadfast. O God, my heart is steadfast. I will sing and give praise. Awake my glory. Awake lute and harp. I will awaken the dawn. I will praise you, O Lord, among the peoples. I will sing to you among the nations. For your mercy reaches unto the heavens, and your truth unto the clouds. Be exalted, O God, above all the heavens, and let your glory be above the earth. So here we go. This is where we get our tea. This is where we get our tea. So come on. This is where the tea kicks in. Because if you're watching this, right, the words that I defined and this is about to correlate. David is here and he's saying that he's in the lion's den. He's saying that he's amongst lions. And what is David doing? He is praising and worshiping God and telling God about his enemies, not telling his enemies about whatever. He's telling God like, hey, this is what's happening. I am surrounded. I am in the lion's den, but I will exalt you. I will raise you up. I find refuge in you. I find safety in you. What is refuge? Refuge is a condition of being safe, or shelter from pursuit of trouble, a place that is providing shelter. So when everything is coming after David, he says, I am amongst lions. He knows that it's too big for him. He knows that the enemies are surrounding him. They are encompassing him. They're on his left, they're on his right. He says, I am amongst them. That means they're everywhere with him. And he's like, I will lift you on high. I will exalt you. No matter what happens, David knew that his God was bigger. In the beginning, he says, be merciful to me. He says, be merciful to me. Mercy is compassion or forgiveness shown towards someone whom it's within its power to punish or harm. He knew that God would be merciful to him because God can have that. God can show grace, mercy, understanding, all of that. He knew. First thing he said, hey, God, it's me. Can you be merciful to me? I am amongst lions. Show me mercy. He says, be merciful to me. Verse 1, be merciful to me. Oh God, be merciful to me. Then it's an exclamation point. He is shouting this out to the rooftops. He's like, God, I am in distress. God, I need you. The enemies are amongst me. They want to devour me. They want to seek to harm me. They want my head on a silver platter. God, be merciful to me. He says, and in the shadow of your wings, I will make my refuge until the calamities pass by. What is a calamity? An event causing great and often sudden damage or distress or disaster. He says this. He says, I will make my refuge until these calamities have passed by. What is a pass by? To pass is to move or cause to move in specific direction or to leave behind. He says, I'm going to make my refuge in you until the calamities, the disasters, all of the things that came to devour me, pass me by. It's to leave me behind. Y'all, whatever y'all got going, go ahead and go without me. Whatever y'all got going on, it will not steal, kill, or destroy me. Go ahead and pass by because I will make my shelter in God's wings under his refuge. I will make you my resting place. I will make you my safety place. I will make you my shelter, God. Let it all pass by. Hurricane Ian just came here. My house is built on you, God. Pass us by. Pass us by. I don't care what's going on, God. Pass us by with the calamity. It's sudden. Calamity happens suddenly. Whatever the enemies is planning is suddenly. And God is saying, I'm going to pass you by. I'm going to allow you to take refuge under me. Find refuge in me. And while the enemies think they have you surrounded, they will pass you by. They think that they're going to come get you. Baby, they can't. They're going to pass you by. Let's get this. He says, I will cry out to the Most High God, the God who performs all things for me. He already knew who his God was. He already knew who his God was. Death is coming. Harm is coming. Disaster is coming. But he says, I will find refuge in you. He says, I will cry out to the Most High God, the God who performs all things. Not some things, not a little things. The God that performs all things. Know who your God is in the time of trouble. Know who your God is when famine strikes, when fire and brimstone starts coming, when all of these things start breaking loose, when all hell on earth starts breaking loose. Know who your God is. David didn't say, hey, God, where you at? He says, you ain't invite me in, God, but I will make refuge. He didn't ask for permission. He says, God, listen, I will make refuge in you, God. I will make refuge. Because he knew who his God was. And listen to this. He says, I will cry out to the Most High God, the God who performs all things. The all just stands out. You got to know who God is. He will send from heaven and save me. He will send from heaven. Tell me on this earth where you can hide that heaven can't reach you. Where an enemy thinks that he has you surrounded where God can't reach you. No, baby. God can go to the highways and the byways, to the low ways, down to the pits of hell to come get his children. God will go down to the pits of hell and rescue his children. You better know who God is. He says he will send from heaven to save me. He reproaches the one who will swallow me up. Now listen, he had me do some more. He had me do some more. What is a reproach? Let me come over. Reproach, to address someone in such a way to express great disapproval or disappointment. He says right here, he reproaches the one who would swallow me up. What is to swallow? Cause or allow something, especially food or drink, to pass down the throat. That is what that is. Reproach is disappointment, to express it. He reproaches, so God is very disappointed and he's going to express it to the one who would swallow you up. The one who came to literally devour you. Because to swallow is to what? To cause or allow something, especially food or drink, to pass down the throat. So the devil wants to literally swallow you up. The devil seeks to devour you whole if he can. Because he can't stand your very presence. The devil can't stand that you are doing better than him. That you are forgiven. That you are chosen. That no matter what you do, God still has mercy and understanding and grace for you. So the devil cannot stand it. He is setting up traps to steal, kill, and destroy you. He wants to swallow you whole. But get this, in the same verse, in the same sentence, David says this. He says, he reproaches the one who will swallow me up. Salah. God will send forth his mercy and his truth. My soul is among lions. I lay with the sons of men who are on fire, whose teeth are spears and arrows, and their tongue is sharp like a sword. Listen, David is describing exactly how his enemy is. You ever seen something that looks so big, that it looks like it's going to devour you? He's saying their teeth are so sharp. It looks like a sword. It looks like they can cut you up. You ever seen those people that have a rebuttal just like that and they can cut you down just like that? And they like, why you not answering? Why you not answering? Where's your God? Where's your God? Are you not going to repent? This and that. Like they go come at you and they go come at you and they go come at you. And you standing back like, God, hey God, it's me again. It's your girl again. It's your boy again. I don't have a rebuttal so quick for them. Their teeth are as sharp as a sword. They're coming to steal, kill, and destroy me, God. They want to swallow me whole. It looks like I'm surrounded. I'm in a den amongst lions. I got a lion that's bigger. I got a lion that's bigger. I know one that's bigger. Get this. It says, be exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let your glory be above the earth. This is what David is telling God. Because David's like, listen, God, let me tell you what the enemies have for me. Because the enemies think they have some tea, but God says, I got one better. David said, let me tell you what they got prepared for me. He says, God, they have prepared a net for my steps. As if, and let me say that again. They have prepared a net for my steps. As if the devil is predictable. As he have already predestined your steps. As if he knows your next move. God says, when I move, you move. Just like that. Follow God and his word. Even when it sounds crazy, if you're going down the road and God tells you to make a U-turn and then bust a right and bust a U again and bust a left, do what God tells you to do, because the enemy thinks that he knows where you are. He has roadmaps planned out for your life. He got what they throw them spikes out there on the road when your car all of a sudden you go have a flat tire. I woke up this morning and my tire flat. I was laughing because I wasn't going nowhere anywhere, devil. Listen, the devil thinks that he knows your steps. But he is not omnipotent. He is not all-knowing. He does not know your next move. When God tells you something, pay attention. When God tells you to get up and lock that door right now, lock that door right now. When God tells you to stop, don't move right now, don't go. I'm telling you, it is very important that you take heed to the word of God over your life, because he is ordering your steps. The only person, the only thing, the only power that can order your steps is God alone. The devil thinks that he has a net. It says, he has prepared a net for my steps. He has prepared a net for my steps. The devil don't know your next move until you tell it. And even then, say something out in the atmosphere and walk the other way. Throw something this way so you can go this way. Throw it out there so the devil can catch and receive it and take his behind over there while you wail over there under refuge of God. The devil thinks that he knows it. And sometimes it be those close friends that you tell your next move to. It be your friends that you tell the next move to that go before you in the presence of the devil and go to praying against you. That's why you got to be careful with your mouth. You got to be careful who you say stuff to. If you wonder why you ain't get those jobs and those houses and in those relationships, look through your message thread and see who you told your plans to and see who prayed against you. Sometimes you got to backtrack to who you opened your mouth to about your plans and see who your real enemy is. Because sometimes those enemies lies within your own circle. Those enemies lies within your own circle. They don't know your next move until you tell it. Sometimes we are our worst enemy, having trust in man when we can only trust God. Because man's going to fail us time and time again, but God will never. God is your best friend in this season. Write a letter to him when you're feeling excited. There's something great that happened in your life. There's something you've seen a hand of him move in. Say, thank you, God, for this, and this. I see you moving, God. I see your hand, God. Sometimes you can't tell everybody everything because they're not going to be happy for you anyway. They're going to go say, why them and not me anyway? You got to watch the circle you keep. You got to go back to those messages. If you're going for a house, I remember I was going for a house and I was telling certain people, and all of a sudden everything would be lined up and it would fall through. And I said, let me check my circle real quick. Let me check my circle real quick. Now they trying to do the same thing I was doing because they had animosity towards me because they felt like it was supposed to be them and not me. Then all of a sudden you see hoodoo, voodoo, witchcraft, and all this stuff in your life because they're mad. They over there doing some Nanyo Renge Kyo prayers up to the devil trying to stop you from getting in. But let me let them in on the secret. They can't stop what God has for you. God might just have to reroute you to somewhere else. But baby, none of them prayers go on God's ears because he not going to hear that foolishness they got going on because God has already predestined who you are and where you're going to go. It might take you a little bit longer because you get hard-headed. You get stubborn and you start trusting men when you never should. But you still gonna get there. I don't care if you get there when you 55, 65, 75. You still gonna get there. And God's still gonna do it publicly because they thought that you wasn't gonna get it. And they thought that getting it before you was gonna get something. They can get it and lose it all before you. They can get it and lose it all before you. I remember my friend, I was telling her my dream car was a Hummer. And I remember I was telling her, I said, I want a Hummer so bad. I tell you what. 2 months later, she came back with a Hummer. Now, she never liked Hummers. She came back with a Hummer. And she pulled up to the house. And I said, whoa, you don't even like those. And she was like, girl, well, you know I got it. You know I got it. I was like, check. There's an enemy in the camp. There's an enemy in the camp. There's an enemy in the camp. Check your circle. Check the people that are around you. They have secret animosity towards you. Check your circle. Let me keep saying this. Check your circle. They don't want you doing better than them. They gonna do some Namyo Reggae Kyo prayers up to the devil. They go offer up some sage blessings up to the devil. They gonna throw some rice over their shoulder for the devil. They gonna sprinkle something outside your door for the devil. They gonna do all of that because they know it's you, and they gonna do whatever they can. They're going to do whatever they can to stop you from getting there. And so they can get the glory first. Oh, I had this first. They copied me. No, boo. Remember, I told you that's what I wanted. But sit back and watch God work. Because God is going to do it bigger and better for his children. Because the devil thought the devil thought. Let me keep going. It says, they have prepared a net for my steps. My soul is bowed down. They have dug a pit before me. They have dug a pit before me. See, not only did the devil throw a net, he made sure he dug a ditch too. He made sure he dug a grave too. Because he wanted to make sure he caught you and make sure he was able to bury you all in the same move. He wanted to make sure he caught you and buried you. It's a burial. So the devil thinks. The same way you bury somebody is the same way you plant a seed, baby. The same way you bury is the same way you plant a seed. You better know what you burying in this lifetime. You better know what you burying in this lifetime before you say ashes to ashes and dust to dust, because ashes to ashes and dust to dust still will rise. You will still rise. In fact, while they burying you, you are sprouting roots in the ground and you are becoming rooted and planted in God's kingdom. While they burying you, they are planting you on good ground, on firm foundation, where you are rooted and nailed down into God. They don't know what they're doing when they call themselves burying somebody like you. Baby, you need the nutrition. You need the dirt. You need the soil. You need all of that, because your house is going to be built on God. Let me keep going, because in that same little verse right there, David said all of this. He says, they have prepared a net for my steps. My soul is bowed down. They have dug a pit before me into the midst. This is where it comes. Catch 22. This is the flip. He says, into the midst of it, they themselves have fallen. They dug a ditch for you. They dug a hole for you. They dug a grave for you. But David said this in the same verse. Into it, they fall. They're going to fall in their own pits. They're going to fall into their own ditches. They're going to fall into their own grave. And you can have the choice of saying ashes to ashes and dust to dust. That's what can happen. You can pick it up and sprinkle a little dust on there, throw the little shovel out the way, and say ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Yeah, let me get my tea. Pinky fingers out. Pinky fingers out, enemies. What they don't know is the joke is on them. The ditch that they dug, the pit that they dug, the grave that they dug, you get to watch them fall. You get to watch them fall in it. Here it comes here. It says, your enemies think they will devour you whole, but God is about to swallow the very thing that came to swallow you. You will find refuge in God, but your enemies will get to meet the wrath, the full wrath of God. He will not only pursue them, but he will devour them. Fear not, God will rescue you. I can't even keep going. You are in the palm of God's hands. I need you to understand, everything that is happening is God's plan. God had to look like you were just out there by yourself. I know a lot of us have been in the isolation period, and it looks like the devil is doing everything. But God said, no. I have you in the palm of my hand. God is going to rescue you. God is about to rescue you. You may be in the lion's den. You may be amongst lions, but there is a real lion, and his roar will shut the mouths of your enemies. His roar will shut the mouths of your enemies. Be exalted is to be lifted high. In all of this, David kept exalting God. David kept exalting God, meaning he kept lifting God on high. He kept telling God how big he was. He kept telling God, I know that you are my God. I see everything that's happening, but I lift your name on high. I find refuge in you. I find peace in you. I find safety in you. God, they're digging a pit, but in it they will fall. They're trying to swallow me, but you shall swallow them. God, I see my enemies, but I see you, God. I will lift your name on high. I will lift your name on high. I don't care who's coming to devour me. I know who you are, God. I will sing praises to you, God. I will worship you, God. I will lift you, God. He says, your enemies have prepared a net, but so has God. Your enemies have prepared a net, but baby, so have God. Come on. Prepare a net for your steps. The devil thinks that he can predict where you are going, but God can only predict that. They have dug a pit and they will fall in it. It is all planned out. Nothing but God is going to get the glory for this next move that he's about to do. Nothing but God. They think that they have you surrounded because it looks like you're by yourself. They are saying, where is your God now? You're going through poverty. The cars are breaking down. The babies are acting up. The lover is cheating on you. I'm talking about the job is firing you. You got $2 in a dream. It looks like you ain't got nothing, but you stand on the word of God. It looks like they have threw the dirt on you. It looks like you're just filthy dirty and they're about to devour you. And God says, here I am. Here I am. Tag me in. Here I am. Tag me in. See, while they were sitting around there boasting about what they were about to do to you, God says they're just telling a story about what's about to happen to them. Everything that they're saying that they're about to do to you, God is about to do it to them, but he's about to put his spin on it. Everything they wished upon you, every star they wished upon, they're about to fall into it. And they're about to have the wrath of God, the full wrath of God upon their heads, because they should have never messed with God's chosen. See, people think that your words, because some of us are very vicious with our tongue. I know. Some of us are very vicious with our tongue. But God says that has nothing with a tear that falls. Your tears are more vicious than your words. You should have never let your tear fall down your eye. You should have never let that one tear fall out of your eye, because that was more vicious than anything that you could have ever unleashed with your tongue. Yeah, life and death is in the power of your tongue, but God collects those tears in a bottle and he issues it out to your enemies. Everything that they have issued to you is about to come full circle to them, and God is about to do it with laughter in his voice. He is about to do it because you do nothing but spread love and light. And they had the nerve to come after you because they had the nerve to be jealous or envious of you. And if they would have known better, they would have did better, because you would have actually helped them get to where you are. You would have told them about God. You would have told them about fasting and tithing and sacrificing and being obedient, and just love above all else is love. You would have told them about everything you had to get to where you are. You would have told them about how you came from nothing and made it to something. How you made being broke look good. You would have told them the secrets of your success. You would have gave them the shirt off your back had they had just came to you. Had they just had came to you. But no, they went to the dark side to conjure up some spirits to come after you. Now all of a sudden your car breaking down. Now all of a sudden you getting fired. Now all of a sudden your kids acting up. Now all of a sudden the bills piling up. Now you just sitting here like, whoa, God, what's happening? What's happening? And God said, don't worry about it. I got this. You keep being who you are, man of God. You keep being who you are, woman of God. I will handle them. I need you to keep being who you are. Keep spreading joy. Keep spreading love. Keep spreading kindness. Keep spreading the sun that literally glows from your skin. You keep being you. Leave the dirty work to me, says God. Leave the dirty work to God and watch what happened. Because had they just asked you how you got to where you were, you would have told them, many nights I struggled. Many nights I didn't know where my help was going to come from, but I trusted in God. Many nights I didn't know where my next meal was going to come from, but I trusted in God. And somebody paid for my meal at the grocery store. Somebody paid it forward at Starbucks. Somebody came up and offered me $5. I didn't know where my help was going to come from, but I trusted in God. I didn't know, but everything else I knew God, and I know he can, and I know he will. I know God can, and I know he will. I don't look like what I've been through. I've been through the fire, but I don't smell like the smoke that's supposed to burn me aflame. I don't look like it. I don't smell like it. It was supposed to kill me. It was supposed to, domestic violence was supposed to take me out. I still got the police reports with the bruises on my neck. I still got the black eyes. I can't still even see right some days. I still have PTSD from coming out of that trauma. But I survived the very thing that came to kill me. If you would have just asked me what it looked like. I come from the Dirt Pro Projects and I make it look good. You better know who you coming up against. You coming against a soul survivor. You coming against the people that were supposed to be dead. But God said, I will give you life, and not just life, life that you may live more abundantly. You coming up against a survivor, baby. You coming up somebody that overdosed time and time again. Someone that was on suicide alley. Someone that didn't know what getting out of somebody else's bed. Baby, I'm supposed to have an STD that you can't get rid of. You coming up against somebody that came against hell and roared back at it and say, hit me again. Hit me again. You coming up against a survivor. And all you had to do was ask me, how did you survive and not smell like smoke? How did you survive and not look like death? All you had to do was ask. That's it. And we would have clearly just showed you how. That's it. That's all. Listen, if this message was a blessing, my link is in the bio. I love you guys. We're going to have more tea time because I love this. We're going to have more tea time with me. And remember, pinkies out on your enemies because we have some messages. They thought it will never happen. Everything that they cast against you is going to fall on them. Everything. You are worthy. You are loved. You are valued. You are beautiful. I'm talking about you reign inside first because that's where beauty starts. When I look at someone, I look at the heart. When God looks at someone, he looks at the heart. So don't tell me what the makeup and all of that. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about the aesthetics and all that good stuff. I care about what does your heart say. I say that you're beautiful because God searches your heart. And I say that you guys are beautiful. You're loved. You're valued. God is about to do something so amazing for you. So amazing. And I speak peace and abundance and joy over your life. Have a good day, you guys.